So just imagine all of the songs that she wrote in those 2 years that got cut from the one album she was able to do. It just makes me sad to think about all the stuff that we might not have heard when we were waiting 2 years between albums. It's Nicole. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you like Taylor Swift videos, don't forget to subscribe. Today I really wanted to do a part 2 to the Taylor Swift meme video that I did a couple months ago because you guys really liked that one. The audience retention was insane. You guys were watching like the entire video, so I thought we would do another one today because we've got some really good memes that have come out of the Evermore release, and today I just need some succulent memes. You know what I mean? I love a good meme. I love the cultural connotations that go underneath them. Memes are just, it's how we communicate in 2021. I'm sorry if I seem a little off today. I woke up with no voice and it's come back, thank God, so I figured I might as well just record while I'm still able to. Who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow? I feel funky. I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too, but I don't have a fever. I haven't lost my sense of taste or smell. At the same time though, I know that means nothing. Luckily, I can't go anywhere anyways because the entirety of my college town is just an ice rink. Classes are canceled, so I can't leave even if I wanted to. Unfortunately though, that means, you know, I'll sit here and marinate in my symptoms, and if things get bad, I can't drive to go get tested. So wish me luck. I don't feel that bad. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I'm gonna take a fat NyQuil after that. I can tell you that much. Let's just get on with it. If I sound weird, that's why. I really hope my voice doesn't give out on me halfway through this. I have been collecting these literally since I think the day after Evermore came out. So the first one we've got an old meme resurfacing for this first one. Esty isn't at Olive Garden. Taylor shoving breadsticks in her purse. I'm sorry, I have to go. I have to commit a murder. When I saw this meme, I knew I was gonna make another one of these videos because this one is genius. The fact that when was this popular? 2014? And this is the perfect scenario to use into this meme. It's so good. The breadsticks, the Olive Garden, the murder. Bon appetit. There's literally not going to be a stadium tour for these albums someday. Taylor is just going to be like, meet me by this tree in this wilderness at this time. We begin at sundown. I would love nothing more. I'm not physically wearing a gown, standing in an empty ballroom dimly lit by candles, listening to champagne problems, moments after quietly refusing the very public wedding proposal of my betrothed, but I am emotionally. These text posts are the shit. Why is no one talking about how Mumford & Sons was the indie record much cooler than hers, and now Marcus Mumford is singing background on Cowboy Like Me? Cries in cottagecore, screams and soft lullabies, throws self to the base of a willow tree by a reflection pool at midnight. Oh God. Taylor Swift puts a lover sign in the Me music video and said no one has guessed the title of the album. Also, Taylor Swift leaves Woodvale on an album and it's actually a mistake. What do you guys think of the Woodvale theory? I don't want to be wrong again. I'm not one of those Swifties that's like expecting a third album and will be disappointed if there's not one. But like, I don't want to be a fool once more. Esty's husband when asked if he knew where Esty was, and I said no, you know, like a liar. I love comparing John Mulaney quotes to Taylor Swift songs and Taylor Swift albums. I think they're compilations of like every song off Evermore in a John Mulaney quote. For the most part, listening to Evermore is like being wrapped up in a thick hand-woven blanket, sitting by the fireplace with a hot drink in your hands and wondering why so many good things have to end. But then No Body, No Crime comes on and you evilly smirk at the wild blazing embers before you that are burning your blood-soaked clothes and think, oh yeah, that's why. Evermore has some more bite to it, I think. Oh God, this one's so good. Taylor's typical Tuesday night in 2008. In her room listening to music. In 2020, at Olive Garden with Esty eating dinner and drinking wine. The character development. When Taylor sings about certain months in multiple songs or different like times, like 2 a.m., she sings a lot about that. I love seeing the little parallels and how things change through time. I feel like I sound like I already took a NyQuil. All I'm saying is that if my long-term girlfriend slash rumored fiance suddenly became enamored by the idea of infidelity, breakups, and divorces, then I would be concerned. That's fair. Joe Alwyn. Well, he's writing them with her though, so maybe they both need to be concerned. I'm not going to read the entirety of this because you guys know what the chorus is, so I'm just going to show it to you. I'm also losing my voice again. Screams and YEEHAW. That's a good one. That's exactly how I felt. That song makes me want to square dance to it, but like with a knife. 'Tis the damn season when Taylor Swift starts breaking records that were previously held by Taylor Swift. Taylor making happiness. I am going to create a happiness that is so sad. That song's growing growing on me more, by the way. I said it was my least favorite on the album, and it still is, just because I like the other ones more, but it was stuck in my head the other day. If my best friend doesn't realize my husband murdered me after I don't show up for our Tuesday night date at Olive Garden, so then she kills him to avenge me with the help of my sister, then I don't want it! Taylor in Folklore. The other woman isn't evil, she just wants to be loved like everyone else. Taylor in Evermore. Let's frame her for murder. Oh, to be a time traveler and go back to 2012 to tell Jake Gyllenhaal that adoring woman whose music he thought was too mainstream, who he ditched to follow Mumford & Sons on tour one day, would have Marcus Mumford featuring on her second indie album, an album in which she specifically reminds us of when he missed her birthday party. I love this one so much and I think about it all the time. I love how in Happiness she's like, your future girlfriend's a fool, and then 2 seconds later she's like, oh my gosh, that was so mean, I'm so sorry. Oh no. A relationship should be 50-50. You explain the stock market and I explain folklore love triangle. Cut to me in my dress shirt and tie. Red's track list is emotional whiplash. All Too Well, 22. I Almost Do. Actually, when Red first came out, I heard so many parallels between All Too Well and I Almost Do. Those were like the two sister songs to me. Like sonically, it gave me the same feeling. Taylor was in the Vulture. That's so good. Why does she fit? Screen door slams shut. Taylor Swift. Wow, this slaps. Who wrote this? Okay, now here's a little comparison of the track 9s. Coney Island, This Is Me Trying, Cornelia Street, Getaway Car, Wildest Dreams, Stay, Stay, Stay. Don't hate on my man Tinky Winky like that. Is he a man? Maybe they're a they. How I sleep knowing that wild Taylor Swift can appear out of nowhere and be like, surprise, the records will be released at midnight. This is so true. I'm on edge all the time.
24 hours later.
No, I have not slept. I don't need it. This is so true. I had to stop myself from buying one of these. That's how I feel. I want the Evermore jewelry so bad. The opal eyes ones. Bernie, 1989. BS are his initials. This is a gem. I love the mix of the Bernie into the Taylor Swift memes. This one is my favorite though. Cross-legged in the dim light, everything was just right. Swifties making up theories when Taylor is quiet versus Swifties when Taylor is actually giving us clues. I think we get too overwhelmed, but when she's quiet, we're all just kind of like running around like chickens with our heads cut off. Willow, champagne problems, gold rush. She's always been like this though. I think there's been quotes from her that said she never likes to put two sad songs together or songs that have like the same kind of sadness. Who are you? Says Gold Rush. I'm you but drunk, says Gorgeous. Ever since Reputation, she's been writing these really vulnerable, like, I don't know, it's a different kind of vulnerable that she's been writing about where she like has a crush on someone. It's almost like Enchanted but super grown up. A cop with sirens on behind me. Me trying to listen to the intro of No Body, No Crime and Peace. This actually happened to me. There were definitely cops driving by on the other side of the road and I was just jamming. You know that my train could take you home. Wasn't she riding like a child's toy car in this picture and they just like photoshopped her out of it onto a train? She's huge. Me in public and my headphones. This is so true. Back when I took the bus to class. Oh, this one is good. This one is gold. The plot of No Body, No Crime. Estee's cheater husband and Taylor behind them. My mind turns your life into folklore. Me listening to Gold Rush for the first time. You're like, oh my god, honey, when I'm above the trees. If you don't know the context of this one, Tree, is her last name Payne? Tree Payne? That's her publicist. Joel when singing, now I'm in exile seeing you out. Taylor, write that down. Write that down. That reminds me of when she said he was just singing the entire Betty chorus at the piano and she like heard from another room and like popped her head in. Some of you guys are gonna relate to this one because I know some of you guys, your first language is not English, which is awesome. My parents being proud of me for speaking very good English with big words despite being from a third world country. Me who learned it from listening to Taylor Swift songs. What's wrong with it though? Taylor Swift vocabulary is amazing. I feel like that's a really good way to expose yourself into like, I don't know if you're not into poetry, for example, which you can learn so much from poetry as far as language goes. And that's essentially what really good song lyrics are. So what does it matter? By 2020, it's been weird. Is this from what, The Office? I don't watch TV shows. Oh. This one hit me. This one hit me. Taylor Swift and the Lumineers both making good songs that mention someone's name. I've been talking about this for a while now. Ophelia is my favorite Lumineers song, which is coincidentally the name of someone, specifically women. Just really pretty female names like Dorothea or Marjorie. The Lumineers also has like Gloria, Cleopatra. Yeah, I got wasted like all my potential. Guys, Taylor writing closure, love letters only. That's cute though. Honestly, she doesn't stand for his half-assed apologies. Oh my god, this is a cursed object. You almost ran the red because you were looking over at me. Why is she on a motorcycle seat? That's weird. It's so weird. Why is it like zoomed in? No, and then you're you sit on the, I don't like that at all. Me when I accidentally sing Long Story Short, it was a bad guy. Estee's husband with brand new tires. Taylor driving home from Olive Garden. If your reputation was a pair of boots, can you imagine if she wore shit like this on that tour? Like little mini Karens on her feet. Karen was the name of her giant inflatable cobra when she sang Look What You Made Me Do. Taylor is either hot as hell or what the hell. That's true though. Oh my god. I wish I had people in real life who like Taylor Swift because I genuinely don't know like anyone. And that makes me sad. At least I have you guys though. Oh my god. So this was when Evermore just came out, and All I Want for Christmas Is You was about to approach that #1 spot like it does every year, but Willows stopped it. Which leads into the next meme. But I come back stronger than a 90s trend. Taylor Swift Easter egged it. Because All I Want for Christmas Is You is from the 90s, and the song Willow beat that song on the charts when usually that 90s trend from Mariah Carey hits the #1 spot in December. Taylor when she notices Estee's husband bought new tires. And I took that personally. Taylor when she can write breakup songs despite not having breakups for a long time. I'm still worthy. This is how she said she felt when she wrote Death by a Thousand Cuts, since it was based off of the movie Someone Great, and she was like, I've still got it. Like literally Champagne Problems is the most upsetting thing, and to think that the whole thing is like fake. I mean not like fake, but like she just created that situation in her head that's nuts. Taylor Swift every time someone turns 22 years old. Yep, my entire birthday vlog was named after 22. Ooh. This one made me rethink everything I've ever considered since that interview where she talked about Woodvale. Taylor hides Woodvale in folklore album cover. Taylor confirms that it was just an editing mistake in an interview. Taylor doesn't say that there won't be one more album. That's true. Literally when she started talking about Woodvale, I was just watching the screen like just anxiously trying to pick up on what she actually meant. There's just too much reading in between the lines. This is why my brain hurts. Before you judge a Swiftie, walk a mile in their shoes. 5 holes in the fence, guys. 5 holes in the fence. That is such a specific scenario to be referencing. Does anyone know what we're talking about when we talk to people who aren't Swifties about the 5 holes in a fence? Taylor making folklore and evermore. Country music, wine drinking, cardigans, damn shit fuck. They misspelled the word damn. It literally says danima. Well, first of all, 'tis the damn season, so jot that down. Ooh. Fans waiting months for the Evermore CDs they bought online. Fans buying Evermore CDs from Target. And then there's those fans who just don't have the money to buy either of them. I love this one so much. I love how Taylor specifically mentions the boat license. Like she wouldn't think of dumping a body from a boat unless she'd been properly trained to drive it. I mean, I understand where this meme is coming from, but like, I have no idea how to operate a boat in the slightest. But if I was licensed, I would feel very comfortable driving a boat. You know what I mean? Like if you don't know what you're doing, you can't. You don't know what you're doing. But God, that just sounds so comfortable. If you need to dispose of one and you're very confident with boat driving, that's fantastic. Me researching for a school paper versus me researching the meaning of the lyrics of every Taylor Swift song. I can confirm. If you've seen any of my college content versus my Taylor Swift lyrical analysis, you will see which one has more thought going into it. Republic Records, how many versions of Willow will you put out? Taylor, a sensible 74. Willow exists. Taylor, I can milk you. I love this one because it's so specific. Reputation stands suddenly becoming folklore stands. Where is that from? Does anybody know what that's from? Oh, this one's so cute. I think this is a photoshopped moment from Pretty Little Liars, if I'm not wrong. I wasn't letting up until the day he died. It's the Haim sisters and Taylor in a graveyard, one of them sitting on a coffin. Love that for them. Betty to James. I know more than you. Folklore, relationships are complicated, sad, and beautiful all at once. Evermore, murder is cool, marriage is a lie, and you can take your closure and shove it. I can't wait for the third album in the trilogy, Dumbledore, Dinosaur. I'm reading Harry Potter for the first time right now, believe it or not. Yeah, I'd be thrilled if she put out an album called Dumbledore and it was like, oh my god, could you imagine if she wrote songs inspired by the Harry Potter books? A summary of closure, just the three of us. You, me, and this brick wall you built between us. It's so melodramatic, but it's like, fits so well. Taylor waiting for the paparazzi to go away so she can dump Estee's husband into the water. She looks so patient. No body, no crime. This is terrifying, if I'm being honest with you. And it turns out the Dorothea goes to the same exact school as Betty, James, and Inez. Me when I'm drunk and talking to my boyfriend. Ah, this one hit me in the heart. When I was young, we had to wait 2 years between each Taylor Swift album era. All right, Grandma, let's get you to bed. Ah! Oh my god, that was torture though. I don't know if that was just how Big Machine pushed her into doing things, but it seems like now she literally just wants to be putting out stuff constantly. And that makes me so frustrated that like, because Taylor, I think, writes the same amount every single year, regardless of whether she's putting an album out or not. I think that was written in her contract. She couldn't release an album any more frequent than every 2 years. So just imagine all of the songs that she wrote in those 2 years that got cut from the one album she was able to do, versus like with Folklore and Evermore, I feel like we got most, if not all, of what she wrote, just because 2 albums in 1 year, like you're gonna have to use most of what you're writing. Does that make sense? It just makes me sad to think about all the stuff that we might not have heard when we were waiting 2 years between albums. Oh god, this was posted the day Evermore was announced. How do you sleep last night? Great, I got a full 40 minutes. This happened both times for me, before Folklore was released and before Evermore was released. It's way too many emotions to process at once that I just don't sleep, and it's not good. I know it's not good. If she keeps doing this, I'm never gonna stop. Taylor this year, I am going to create an album that is 2 albums. God bless her for doing so. And for the last meme, Evermore, a tornado, Swifties mowing the lawn being calmly enjoying the Folklore era. As someone who lives in Tornado Alley, I can confirm. Actually, no, I can't, because I got way more overwhelmed by Evermore than I've ever been by a tornado. That brings us to the end of my meme reaction, sharing my favorite memes with you. Part 2, let me know if you guys want a part 3. I can definitely start collecting stuff now. So let me know what you thought of this. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. I am going to go take my fat NyQuil. So I will see you guys next week with another video, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm going to try to. Bye guys.